Tommy, this just in, we've got Audi's best-selling car for review.
That's right. So Audi sold about 57,000 Q5s in the USA last year, and this is the all-new 2025 Q5. And what are we doing today, Dan?
Well, we're going to take it for a ride. We're going to show you the inside. We're going to show you what's under the hood, and we're going to start by talking about styling, which is a little on the bland side, in my opinion. I do like the headlights, but it does look a little bit like a bar of soap.
Well, the new Q5 has gone all smooth from the design standpoint. So you can see the front end is very round and curved. This grille is lacking a bezel, so it's very minimalist in its design. And depending on the trim, you're going to find different headlights, different taillights, including animated OLED LED taillights, which we'll see here in a second. This one has the optional 20-inch wheels. And Dad, these wheels look very Porsche to me. They're almost like the turbo twists.
Yeah, that's an Audi take on a Volkswagen Group wheel for sure. Now this has the prestigious package.
The prestigious Prestige package. That's exactly right. And that comes with a bunch of features, which we'll talk about when we get on the inside. But this car has some nice little pops of chrome, if you ask me, or at least I should say kind of that brushed aluminum look. So we've got the window trim here in the bright finish, along with the roof rails. This is kind of a cool little thing Audi does, where they put the Audi Q5 TFSI Quattro along the side. And then as we make our way along to the back, this is the OLED taillight display, which can be configured with animation, so it kind of greets you when you walk up to the car, which is very cool. Q5 badging along the left rear, Quattro badging along the right, and then here's a real question. I love this. Functional tailpipes with actual outlets. So big credit to Audi for doing that. But I do have to say, Dad, I kind of agree with you. This car's gotten a little too rounded, a little bit too smooth for my liking.
Yeah, there's this trend in new car design where everything is minimalist. I do have to give it to them. They still have a real door handle, as opposed to door handles that, you know, come out or are somehow incorporated into the actual door. So thank you, Audi, for not getting rid of that. But it is very minimalist with some interesting placement choices. We'll talk about where the headlight switch is in a second, but let's look under the hood, because yes, this does not have a battery, Tommy.
Well,
it has a 12 volt.
Yeah, it's got some battery, but not primarily battery driven.
I also like this.
Yeah.
This is nice, a nice big lever to open the hood. Now that we've got all these different ways of figuring out how to open the hood, remember BMW does a 2-pull.
So what I think is cool about this Audi is, compared to a lot of other small luxury crossovers which have a transverse engine design, the Q5 is still longitudinal, so engine goes front to back. Now this is the family 2-liter turbo that the Volkswagen Group uses in a lot of various vehicles, makes 268 horsepower, and that's mated to a 7-speed dual clutch automatic transmission. Now here's what's kind of interesting is I just drove.
Feels very 2015.
Well, nah, hold on, you say that. I just drove the new Tiguan.
Yeah.
R-Line Sport Turbo thing.
You say Tiguan or Tiguan?
Well, the Germans say Tiguan, so I like Tiguan. Now, the Tiguan...
but it's tiger and iguana. Wouldn't it be Tiguan as in tiger?
They're Germans. I don't know, ask them, but all the German product folks say Tiguan. Now, you might think that the Q5 is just a fancy Tiguan, but that has a transverse engine layout with an 8-speed normal automatic torque converter. So this is a much more performance-oriented drivetrain. I love that it's a longitudinal with, of course, Audi's legendary Quattro system. So it's not just a rebodied Tiguan.
Tiguan.
It's something
tiger iguana Tiguan
with some real performance differences. Now, if you do want more power, there's also an SQ5 available. That's got like 326 horsepower, but 268 horse in this car with the 295 pound-feet of torque. That should be plenty to propel this car from 0 to 60 in under 6 seconds.
Now, of course, the reason this is their best-selling car, Tommy, is because it's at the heart, in the meat of the segment, right? This is where most people are right now. They want a utilitarian, fun to drive, all-wheel drive, all-weather crossover, which exactly what Audi brings to the table. Now let's see how much room is in the back. Speaking of utility, so I'm going to sit back here and see if I fit. I have the seat where I sit, and keep in mind I'm pretty tall, so, or it may have actually moved forward. When I open the door to make sure we don't have the little convenience entry in. Oh, didn't move forward. All right, so that's where I said.
Well, it might move forward when you turn the car on.
All right, see if it moves forward when I turn the car on. Did it move forward?
Yep, there it goes.
All right, there we go. I want to be fair to the car. It did move forward. So, you know, it's not a Tahoe, but it is relatively comfortable. I do like the seat comfort. I do have a little bit of lack of headroom right there because of this giant glass sunroof. It would be, you know, a fine place to go for dinner, but I wouldn't want to take a cross country sitting back here. But like I say, keep in mind I'm pretty tall. How much room is in the way back, Tommy?
Well, let's go find out.
Yeah, let's go find out.
They've really simplified the powertrain lineup in this car too this year. There's really only in the standard Q5 one engine, one drive configuration, right? Only comes with a 268 horsepower, only comes in all-wheel drive unless you step up to the S models. Pretty decent trunk space. It's around 25, 26 cubic feet worth of trunk space with the seats folded up. Let's see if it's got the fold flat feature on the seats here. Pull the lever. Oh yeah, actually very, very nicely integrated that.
Yeah, and it's also a 40, 20, 40, or is it, you know,
yeah, I think
90, 10?
No, 20, 40, 20, you got it. Yep, that's great. And then I also like this too, these little metal tie downs that they put here on the leading corners. That's really, really nice. One thing I don't like about this trunk whatsoever though, Dad, is that this Q5 does not come with a spare tire.
And that's a problem, but we have a solution.
We sure do. So our friends over at Modern Spare are working with us over the next few months to promote their product, and they've got something pretty cool. They offer spare tires that you can add to a whole variety of vehicles that don't come included with them, and they're not just some janky little thing. They're actually a real quality tire on a quality wheel
with the actual jack in the actual kit. It comes in a nice bag,
and they're much nicer than your typical temporary spare. So if you're looking at a Q5 or any number of other cars that don't have a spare tire, and even if you go on the website and you don't see one listed, give them a call. They can typically put something together for you. So big thank you to Modern Spare for sponsoring this video. Check them out using the link below.
It's peace of mind, right?
Yeah, for sure. So that's really, really great. But Dad, should we hop on the inside and go through some of the features?
Yeah, let's do that. Why don't you sit in the front and I'll sit next to you.
Okay. Gavin, you want to hop in the back seat? Let's see what we got going on. Ooh, holy curved screen, Batman.
Remember I said something about the light control? Can you guess where they put the light control, the headlight control?
On the dashboard.
Well, normally it'd be somewhere right here, right to your left, by your left knee.
Yeah.
That's where you think it is. And then GM, of course, puts it in here. But Audi has taken the unusual step of putting it in the door handle, right there.
That's not too bad, though.
That's weird, dude. That is weird. The headlight control auto is right there in the door handle, along with your seat controls and your mirror controls, and of course your locks, and of course your child locks, and of course it is haptic. This is haptic as well. Let me show you something that's kind of cool about this. So if I turn this off, all those little lights in there turn off.
Yeah, that's cool.
So when you turn them on, they light up, and then it gives you the controls. But you know, I'm maybe getting old and grumpy, but I'm not a big fan of all these haptic controls.
It's a little much on the haptic. There really is no physical controls except for your domino here, which you use for the gear selector. You can slide it back and forth, and then push for park. And then you do, thankfully have an actual volume knob, which is great. But the rest of these controls are all pretty much touch-sensitive panels. And then a little bit too much piano black through the center here,
That's
too.
That's gonna get mighty dusty.
Yeah, and a little bit scratched up. Now, there are some cool things on this interior. So 14.5 inch curved display here that controls all of your settings, all of your controls. Very, very configurable as to how you want it set up. Of course, we do have the Google Map based navigation here. You've got these tiles and panels that you can use for shortcuts. You also have the Hey Audi function if you want to, use your voice command to control various aspects of the car, and then also some shortcuts here for some of the settings and controls, which is very kind of intuitive. So it's a very intuitive system. We can pull up the climate menu super easily. There's also comfort assist. So let's say your feet are cold. You just hit heat feet.
Well, my feet are cold.
Your feet are cold?
No, they're hot.
They're hot?
Yeah.
Cool feet. There you go. There's a button for that.
My hands are cold.
Your hands are cold?
My hands are cold, Tommy.
Let's see if there's a heat hands. Heat hands! Is there a cool hands?
No, just a
No, there's no cool hands.
So if I have hot hands, I'm out of luck, but if I had cold hands, I'm in luck.
That's exactly right.
Interesting.
So it's actually very self-explanatory how this works. There's also this.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that either, of the passenger screen.
It does have a passenger screen, and there's even built-in games. So let's say you've got your little one over here. This is Beach Buggy Racing 2, which I first played on Tesla. This is actually a very fun game, and basically it's a little racing game, and you can play it while the driver drives. But what's cool about this is, can you see this screen?
Yes, I can.
When you start driving, it goes into a mode where the passenger can see it, but the driver can't.
Wonderful, Tommy.
What, wasn't that cool?
Yes, that's.
You sound all grumpy here. Look, I'm beach buggy racing over here.
I wonder if there's another screen that you could do that with, where you wouldn't have to pay for it in the car. You know, the one that's in your pocket 24/7.
I'm not listening to your negativity. I'm trying to avoid seagulls over here. Look at this. Look how cool this is.
Sorry, I don't have an answer.
Oh, I know.
And Audis are just have an answer for you, Tommy.
So what we have here is faux Mario Kart, but it's actually pretty fun. Look at this. Look at this. Boom! Just ran into that guy.
All right.
So lots of things you can do.
Let's get back to the car. We do have different drive modes. One of the interesting features is there is an off-road mode, and in the off-road mode, you note that we do have air suspension. So we can raise and lower the car, which is cool.
So part of the $8,400, by the way, Prestige package is the adaptive air suspension, adaptive cruise control, animation for the headlights and the tail lights, heads-up display, headlight washers, heated rear seats, sunshades in the back, the 10.9-inch passenger display, panoramic sunroof. So you pay a lot for that, but you also get a lot for that. Total price on this one? Any guesses?
Well, I know. I looked at it. I'm going to say $63,000.
$63,000. So can you see my beach buggy game now?
I can't see your beach buggy. I can't see the fingerprints though on the screen.
It went away.
Not the fingerprints.
Not the fingerprint. So
No.
$63,000. So very competitive with, for example, like a BMW X3, right? X5 has always been in an interesting category. It's kind of between like an X3 and an X5.
Yeah. The
Size-wise.
Q5 has been.
Yeah, sorry. The Q5 has always been kind of between X3 and X5.
Yeah.
But what do you think of the ride on this thing?
Actually, this is my favorite part of this car. I think let's do a quick acceleration run here, and let's talk about the ride and handling.
Yeah,
of this
you got to
car.
go to sport here.
You're gonna go to sport?
Dynamic. There you go.
No longer sport. Now it's got to be dynamic. Okay, forward.
A little bit of lag.
A little bit of lag, and there you go. There's a dual clutch. It's pretty good, Tommy. It's quick, but my favorite is right there, comfort. Because let's face it, this car is going to be used to go to work, take the kids to school, take grandma to church, and for that duty, it's very comfortable. I would say that is the defining word that I would use for this car, comfortable. The seats are comfortable, the seating position is comfortable, looking out across the hood is comfortable, the brakes work as they should, they're not grabby, they're nicely linear and progressive, and most importantly, the ride is very comfortable, so I could see myself happily driving this all day long, running errands and enjoying the game that I can't see.
Well, yeah, I mean, and look, there's, especially when you start looking at some of the nicer Q5s, you got all of the drive assist things too, so it's a really competent road tripper. Let's check out the fuel economy here. 22 city, 25 combined, 30 highway. So that's okay, right? It's not incredible.
Well, my gas tank says it's full and I've got almost 500 miles of range.
I must have a really huge tank.
Either that or it's being optimistic.
But yeah, that's pretty impressive. And I think when you consider, like, look, we're talking about a car that'll do 0 to 60 in right around 6 seconds, so pretty decent performance and fuel economy numbers on this car. Yeah, I like this a lot. I think that for most folks that just want a very comfortable car, the Prestige package is probably worth it, especially having nice things like the ventilated seats and the heated rear seats, right? And if you want some of the cool like headlight, taillight animations as part of the Prestige as well. So it adds some maybe less useful features like the animations and some very useful features like the heated rear seats.
So I'm just going to kind of be the devil's advocate here, and I'm going to say that the problem with this from, I think, an Audi standpoint is that Audi seems to have taken the place of where Lincoln is in the Ford lineup. Once upon a time, Audi was kind of the young, cool, youthful, hip kid in town, but now if I'm saying that the defining feature of this thing is comfortable, we've kind of moved into a different age group, a different potential, I don't know, shopping demographic. And unfortunately for Audi, Tesla has kind of taken over that cool kid on the block, at least it had for a while, and Audi's kind of lost right now trying to figure out what it is. And that would be my biggest criticism of the car. I don't think that the car is bad. I think it's actually a very good car. I think the price, while $63,000 isn't cheap, isn't horrible for all the goodies you get.
Average new car price is over 50 grand now.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of goodies, but you know, where is kind of the fizz?
Well,
Right? It's not fizzy. I want the fizz, Tommy.
yeah, but when you consider like people buying this car, right? This is the RAV4 issue. When it's the best-selling car you sell, you can't make it that extreme to one end or another, right? It's got to be kind of right down the middle.
But Audi always had that fizzy vibe, right?
What do you mean by fizz? You got some indigestion going on?
The fun
What
vibe,
fizz?
right? The fizz, the part of the soft drink that makes you want to drink it, that you're looking forward to, the little fizzy part that tickles your nose.
But then you get indigestion and then you have to burp.
The part that
and then
makes you so excited to have it.
No, I don't want
where
any
is the fizz, dude?
No fizz needed here, right?
Where's the fizz
It's
and where's the fun?
comfortable, it's elegant, right? It's not supposed to be a Porsche. This is the elegant, the gentleman's choice.
Yeah, the Lincoln of the Volkswagen
That's
group.
just cruel. That's just cruel. No, I don't want indigestion. I don't want the fizz.
Some Audi cars have fizz, right?
Well, yeah, get the SQ5 if you want the fizz.
That's a little
That's
bit.
fizzy.
That's not fizzy. That's
Get the Sportback if you want
bubbly,
the fizz.
but not quite fizzy.
Okay, I don't know what kind of weird stomach things you got going on here today, but I do actually like this car quite a bit. I think in this category.
Don't get me wrong. Just because it's not fizzy doesn't mean I don't like it.
I wish it had more buttons. That's my big complaint.
I just wish it had more fun.
Doesn't have enough buttons in it, but apart from that, it's big, it's comfortable, the seats are great. Yeah, I think the value is actually okay overall.
Well, guys, there you have it. Another This Just In. Head on over to where, Tommy, if they want to see more TFL videos?
TFL.com.
And we'll see you next time. Ciao. Fizz, Tommy, fizz, fun.
I don't want
Fizzy.
the fizz. I just want normal.
You're the old man here.